Welcome to Pastor's Chat today. Well, we're looking at Psalm 84. Psalm 84 is a wonderful psalm that reminds us that we are pilgrims just wandering through this world, but we're on our way home. We're on our way home. Spurgeon called this psalm the pearl of psalms. Just like Psalm 23 is the most popular psalm, this is a beloved psalm that speaks to our hearts and gives us encouragement as we walk through life on our way to glory. And even there are so many ways to make application of this psalm. I believe this psalm is written, no doubt, by one of the sons of Korah. Korah, if you remember, was the tribe who was given the responsibility of taking care of the hangings of the tabernacle as they were going through the wilderness. They were in charge of making sure everything was in its proper place, that it was carried properly from place to place as they traveled. And now, as the tabernacle, the temple is there in Jerusalem, three times a year, all the Jewish males were required to go to Jerusalem to worship at these three major feasts that Israel had set aside for them in the law. And they made pilgrimage. Their families would get together, and maybe their extended families, cousins and brothers and sisters and aunts and uncles and grandparents, and they would come together. And you can imagine this was a festive time, and it must have been a time when it was safe for people to go back to Jerusalem and travel. The Assyrian maybe invasion was over. We're not sure what time this psalm was written, but the pilgrims would then march on their way. Matter of fact, in the Gospel of Luke, you read about Jesus' parents when he was 12 years old, taking him to Jerusalem for one of the feasts. And so this was a time of pilgrimage, and this was one of the sons of Korah who was very much in love with the temple and the tabernacle and everything about it. And he wanted to go, but he couldn't go, it appears. He wanted to go, but he couldn't go, and he's thinking about going. And so he writes this hymn, and then in this psalm, and then we know that maybe over the years this became a pilgrim psalm. As they went to Jerusalem, the different Jewish pilgrims in their groups would sing this psalm on their way to Jerusalem. Now, one of my favorite verses in the Bible that I memorized as a brand new Christian is found in this psalm, Psalm 84:11. For the Lord God is a sun and shield. The Lord will give grace and glory, and no good thing will he withhold from those who walk uprightly. So I believe this psalm is for all of us today, and I believe we're going to be blessed as we look through it. Let's begin reading this psalm. It says, first, to the chief musician on the instrument of Gath, a psalm of the sons of Korah. And then he writes, how lovely is your tabernacle, O Lord of hosts. My soul longs, yes, even faints for the courts of the Lord. My heart and my flesh cry out for the living God. Even the sparrow has found a home, and the swallow a nest for herself where she may lay her young. Even your altars, O Lord of hosts, my King and my God. Blessed are those who dwell in your house. They will still be praising you, Selah. Blessed is the man whose strength is in you, whose heart is set on pilgrimage. As they pass through the Valley of Baca, they make it a spring. The rain also covers it with pools. They go from strength to strength. Each one of them appears before God in Zion. O Lord God of hosts, hear my prayer. Give ear, O God of Jacob, Selah. O God, behold our shield, and look upon the face of your anointed. For a day in your courts is better than 1,000. I would rather be a doorkeeper in the house of my God than to dwell in the tents of wickedness. For the Lord God is a sun and shield. The Lord will give grace and glory. No good thing will he withhold from those who walk uprightly. O Lord of hosts, blessed is the man who trusts in you. Oh, what a beautiful psalm. And I trust today and the next few days as we look at this psalm, you'll be encouraged, you'll be blessed, and you will make pilgrimage to the house of God every day in your heart in worship. God bless you, and you have a wonderful, wonderful day.